So many of you guys are preparing for your boards and are wondering what to do next once you are done with your 12th. Now, specifically from India, a lot of people in the field of commerce need to decide what additional qualification along with their bachelor's, whether it's BCom, BBA, BAF, BMS, etc. What else can you do that is interesting, that has a great career opportunity, and you can manage alongside your college. So in this video, we're going to talk about all the options which you guys can think about in the field of finance and accounts, and hopefully make a career decision which will take you from where you are to where you want to be. The first option, as always, if you're interested in the field of finance and accounts and are from India, you should contemplate chartered accountancy. There is no better course. It's the #1 course in the field of accounts and finance in India. That being said, a lot of reasons why people don't do it, and that's ideally because of duration being extremely long, or the articleship in the middle. That is, we've heard a lot of unfortunate events that people who've gone through it are not really thrilled about it, or the passing percentage being really low. And while all these are reasons people choose alternatives, these are also the reasons that people in the industry really respect and pay for people who have completed their chartered accounting. Now guys, before we go ahead, I'm sure many of you all do know that at Zell we train candidates across India and the world for different kinds of finance and accounting qualifications such as ACCA, CFA, CPA, CMA, IFRS, and now we have other kind of qualifications which are in the field of financial markets or financial modeling or fintech, which we are doing in association with large partnership brands such as Bombay Stock Exchange. So first of all, if any of these qualifications are something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out to us. We leave our contact details below. Now let's get back into it. Option number 2, like I was just saying, if you've given your 12th and are not sure what to do but want to get into the field of FNA, the second option is Global CA, which is the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, ACCA. Now, of course, we are specializing in ACCA, so I might have much more information to share with you all, but ACCA is given huge amounts of demand which is rising in India over the last 5 years. So if currently you're in that, you're just giving your 12th, this might be the best opportunity for you to start it. It takes 2 to 3 years to complete. Its value in India is almost the same as that of CA, and in multinationals or in any corporate vertical, your start as well as your growth is going to be the same as that of CA. So ACCA and CA have now reached a point where they actually offer the same value. CA, of course, you can practice in India, so that's a huge advantage. But ACCA then allows you the opportunities to not only start your career in India, but also travel overseas. Option number 3, you can pursue the US CMA, that is the Certified Management Accounting. It's all about costing. Now earlier, if it was 10 years ago, I would have also recommended you guys to do the Indian CMA or the Indian Cost Accounting course. But I've seen that the kind of students that follow us prefer taking up opportunities which give them a higher chance of getting recruited in multinationals or have international opportunities, and that's why I would recommend you all CMA. CMA you can finish in less than a year. It's relatively easy, and most importantly, it's a great stepping stone from, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something. So if you're in that zone, you are aspirational and ambitious, start with this, and while you are in the process of studying it, or once you complete and you start working along with college, you have so much of exposure that you will also figure the next step if there is any next step required for you. So CMA is a great opportunity for many of you all. The next option which I would suggest is for those who are interested in statistics as well as the field of finance. It's called Actuarial Science. Actuarial Science is, I think it'll have a huge scope going forward in India as well as other countries, because actuarial science teaches you all about risk, and risk is becoming something that the entire world is now trying to mitigate risk in all forms. So actuarial science is the one course which helps that. Now also, actuarial science is considered as one of the most difficult exams in the world. A few years ago, if you search on Google for the #1 paying job in US, there was a time when actuaries actually ranked as #1. So it is that difficult, but it also has that kind of a return. You can complete it in, let's say, 4 to 5 years if you're extremely diligent. But if not, You can also complete partial papers, start working, and then build your career, because a lot of insurance companies actually prefer people who are studying actuarial science and us then working with them, and you complete the last few papers with your work-ex. So a lot of opportunities there as well. The next option is FRM, Financial Risk Management. Once again about risk, but a subset of finance. For all of you again who love numbers, FRM is something which, actually it had more demand in the past than it does now. Yet it's not that it's out of demand. Companies like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs all love FRM candidates, and FRM is a great combo to do with another course, which again is probably the most popular course after CA, which is CFA. FRM plus CFA turns you into an unbelievable expert in the field of finance. The only reason I'm saying FRM is before CFA here is because after 12th, the eligibility for CFA is that when you're in your last year. So if you're in your third year of BCom, you can start studying for it in your second year, which I'll just cover in the next point. But FRM you can start in year 1. So my recommendation, if you guys want to do both, is first, of course, your goal has to be CFA. But then if you have to wait for a longer period of time before you want to start CFA, you can start with FRM. Next, CFA. Now, CFA is the most popular course in the world in finance and investment. So if you like the stock markets or in any form that you've touched upon finance and you enjoy finance, whether it's financial management, whether it's cost of capital, or it's equity or derivatives or portfolio management, there is no course like CFA. Again, the demand in terms of corporates hiring CFAs in India is growing, whether Indian firms or international. And in countries like US and in continents like Europe, CFA is the most popular course in that finance vertical. That being said, again, because we train so many people in the field of CFA, we know that you guys after 12th also we know people are very, very eager to start CFA early. And that's something which should be encouraged. So what we would recommend is, if you are you've just given your 12th, but your goal is CFA, which you can only technically appear for in your third year, our recommendation is you start studying for it in your second year and use the first year to pursue some base, which I'm going to cover once again in the next point, which are short-term courses, whether it's Excel technical training, or it's learning a little more basics about the stock markets, or not. If you don't want to pick up something and you want to wait for a few months before you jump into CFA, just take 5,000 or 10,000 rupees from your father, from your mother, and start experimenting by starting to invest with a little bit of handholding into the stock markets. Get some exposure if you're too early, but that being said, do not become one of those people who after 12th decides I'll do CFA in 1 or 2 years, but then by the time 1 or 2 years pass by, you've lazed around and you basically become complacent and you drop such an important career plan because of points like I had to wait for a few weeks, for a few months, or for a few even years. So CFA, 100% one of the best courses. It can later be clubbed with MBA also. So if you have a long career plan, reach out to us. We'll help you how to create this entire plan. The last point is short-term courses. What I mean by short-term courses is, like I was saying earlier, we do have a 30-hour as well as a 100-hour course in the field of stock markets, in financial modeling, which is more about Excel, in fintech, and outside of Zell also, right? Whether you go on Coursera, you go on Udemy, you go and find institutes that you like, please understand there is a lot of importance in just taking short-term courses to open your mind from 0 to 1 before you take up any higher level course. It's not really valuable in your CV. A lot of people I know, you'll jump onto it because you'll get a certificate and all. But that's more of a shortcut people choose, that I don't want to invest in a 3-year or a difficult course, so I'll tell myself that a 3-month course will give me the same value. It doesn't. Short-term courses are for knowledge, long-term courses are for building careers. So it's still okay, based on your situation, take a short-term course to prepare for yourself for the longer-term course. Lastly, guys, if you all want to know what to do for other courses like MBA or CPA, which you can actually pursue post your graduation, we have another video on that, so do check it out. And in the meantime, if there's anything we've missed, please let us know and we'll be happy to make more content for you guys. If this is the first time you're visiting the channel, please do subscribe and do like and share if you find any value in the content. It'll help us know what kind of requirements are out there for people who are making career decisions, and hopefully we'll be able to serve you guys better.